Hello everyone, welcome to the Metalzine. This is lesson 2 in the Metalzine lesson series, and today we're going to be discussing notes as they relate to timing.
Hello there! It comes out to me as being brutal, melodic.
You know, regular Slayer beat.
Are we fucking nuts tonight?
People are demons. People are evil. We create evil.
Nobody should be at a concert worshiping Satan.
Because everyone seems extreme.
What? No warning?
You know, we're people too.
Tough to be first class when you're white trash. Roach class all the way.
What?
Alright, so last episode we dealt with the physics of notes, going from one note to the next, the frequency, different ways we can look at frequency, the range that humans can hear sound and frequencies, and that sort of thing. So today we're going to be messing with another prerequisite for those harder lessons that are going to come further down the road. So today we're going to be looking at basic music notation. I'm not going to look at the differences in frequencies in that regard to music notation. I'm just going to be paying attention to timing, like whole notes, half notes, dotted notes, tied notes, triplet notes, that sort of thing, and what they look like and what they sound like. So we're going to be dealing with 4/4 timing because I want to keep it very basic. There's also going to be an example at the end of this video that's going to be at 240 beats per minute, and that's a very typical tempo for modern metal. And I just want to say here that one beat, there's 4 beats in each bar, and 60 beats per minute for a tempo. There would be 15 bars and 4 notes in each bar, so that would be 60 beats per minute, obviously. So that's 1 beat every second. For 240, that's 4 beats per second, so 1 bar per second. Alright, so let's go over what each note looks like and how to approach each note. So this should be pretty explicit. But in orange you have the whole note, what it typically looks like, and its respective rest note, which I call the Charlie Chaplin mustache. Alright, so I didn't go over the dotted note for the whole note because the whole note equals 4 beats. And 4/4 timing, there's only 4 beats. A dotted whole note would be 6 beats. It would be 1.5 times itself. So instead of 4 beats, you would have 6. A double dotted whole note would be 50% added on to what that first dot adds on. So that would be 4 plus 2 plus half of that 2 is 1. So it'd be 4 plus 2 plus 1 equals 7 beats. So if you see a double dotted whole note, you would expect at least 7/4 timing, if not something longer. Alright, so we're not going to be messing with triplets for the whole notes. Alright, so now we have the half notes. So the rest for a half note looks like an upside down rest for a whole note. A dotted whole note is basically a whole note plus a quarter note, which is 1.5 times a regular whole note. A double dotted whole note is a whole note plus a quarter note plus an eighth note, if that makes sense. Alright, so you have this this bar with 3 whole notes underneath it. What that is a 3-2 ratio, where you have a field that's 3 whole notes equals 2 regular whole notes. So 3 whole notes with the bar on top of it equals 2 regular whole notes, or half notes. So I'm not sure if I said that right. 3 half notes equals 2 regular half notes if the 3 whole half notes have the bar on top of it. You might also have different fields, such as 5-2 ratio, which has the 5-2 ratio on top of it, where 5 half notes equals 2 regular half notes, which is 1 whole note, and 4 beats. So you could have five of these type of half notes and 4/4 timing, which is kind of strange, but that's used a lot if you want a different feel for different instruments, but them to still have explicitly the same tempo. So for quarter notes, let's see, for quarter notes we have in pink. The rest for a quarter note is almost like a 3. It's a weird looking 3. A dotted quarter note is 1.5 regular quarter notes, so it's a quarter note plus an eighth note. A double dotted quarter note is a quarter note plus an eighth note plus a 16th note. And that's basically 75% added on to a regular quarter note. This is another example of the 3. So with the 3 on top, that on top of the 3 quarter notes, that equals 1 half note, and it also equals this. These two are the same thing. So 3 is the same thing as writing 3 with the colon, and then a 2, 3 with the ratio of 2. And then you have eighth notes. That's what 1 eighth note looks by itself, as the line scooting across to the right. That's what the rest looks like. It's just the dot with the slash. So I want to focus on this. For the eighth notes, you got the 3 on top of the 3/8 notes. That equals 1 quarter note. But a lot of people also write it without the second bar. They just write it with the 3 on top of the regular bar that goes with the eighth notes. So you got to keep an eye on that. The 1/16 note is just 2 bars on top of the note. And then this, I wrote it similar to that, but it's 16th notes, and 3 of those equal 1/8 note. So it goes at 3-2 ratio, where 3 of the strange 16th notes, if you want to call it that, equals 2 of the regular 16th notes, which equals 1/8 notes. And same thing follows for 1/32 notes. That's basically what you're going to be dealing with. There's also tied notes. I'll write that down real quick. But for here, you could have, let's say, a bar and 4/4 with a whole note. I'm not going to draw everything here, but you could have something like this, where it almost looks like a smiley face, but you might play a chord as a whole note, and I'm not going to get into the notes themselves. I'm just looking at the timing. So you might have a chord, and you might want to have that chord lay into the next bar. So here you have 2 different, whole notes, but this is basically 2 whole notes in 4/4 timing, fulfilling 2 bars. So you're only playing that chord once over 2 bars, if that makes sense. So as I said, there's going to be an example of what I mean by whole notes and whatnot, half notes, quarter notes, eighth notes, and 16th notes, and 4/4 timing at 240 beats per minute. I'm going to show what a snare sounds like as a whole note and at 240 beats per minute. Alright, so now I'm going to show what the hi-hat sounds like as 2 half notes at 240 beats per minute. I'm going to show what 4 quarter notes on the ride sounds like at 240 beats per minute. I'm going to show what 16 of the kick notes on the kick drum sound like as 1/16 notes at 240 beats per minute. Alright, so next we're going to start on this example, and I hope it gives you some intuition on the basis of this. This is very basic stuff once you understand it, and it's very easy to understand. If you don't understand it, this example should definitely help. So thank you for checking out the second lesson on the Metalzine series of lessons. I hope you enjoyed it, and let us know if there's any lessons that you want us to look at. And don't forget to subscribe, share, like, and all that stuff. Rock on.